Yo, my name is Peter Thomas, and you might know my face from the Real Housewives of Atlanta. I'm here repping Charlotte to the fullest. Here at Sports One, my brand new sports bar in Uptown Charlotte. Okay? And you're watching the HBCU Live, the pulse of Black College. Peace.
Kicking off the new season of HBCU Live on YouTube down in Orlando. The MEAC SWAC Challenge has people fired up in Orlando, has people fired up in Charlotte. A host of Alabama A&M and North Carolina A&T fans checking out the action in the viewing party. And then things got goofy for Alabama A&M fans. It's already 7-6 A&T when Tony McRae takes this kick return 95 yards and he's going all the way to the house. No Bulldogs in sight. It was quickly becoming apparent down at Bright House Stadium in Orlando that there was only gonna be room for one dog in that house. The Blue Death defense came to play and they brought the pain and laid the wood to the Alabama A&M offense. And yes, A&T was just getting started because Tariq Cohn was the player of the game. 161 yards, 2 touchdowns. That one made it 38-6 at the half. A&M fans may have gone home from the viewing party in Charlotte, but they still had to perform down in Orlando at halftime. Meanwhile, A&T special teams continued to make big plays. This punt return doesn't score a touchdown here, but it sets up another score for A&T. Alabama A&M does get on the board, though. Brandon Wells to Jonathan Dorsey for the only touchdown of the game for A&M. It rained on the Bulldog Parade in a big way. A&T beat down the Bulldogs in Orlando. Final score in this one, 47-13. More MEAC SWAC action to tell you about, this time from Jackson, Mississippi. A couple of traditional HBCU football powers hooking up in Williams Memorial Stadium. Jackson State hosting Florida A&M. Not too often that the Rattlers make the trip to Mississippi and the fans would be treated to a heck of a football game in this one. Pick it up late in the first quarter. The Tigers on the move. Lamontez Ivy looking good at quarterback. He'll drop back here, find his running back, Jarius Moore. Moore takes it inside the red zone. The FAMU defense stiffens up and holds Jackson State to a field goal. JSU takes a 3-0 lead, would stay that way until the second quarter, where the Rattlers would get on the board. Damian Fleming drops back, finds Dennis Hall in the end zone for the 21-yard touchdown strike. FAMU leads 10-6 at the break. Got a pretty good game going on in Williams Memorial Stadium and two pretty good bands too. The Marching 100 and the Sonic Boom of the South. When action resumed in the second half, more great dramatic football between these two traditional powerhouses. Florida A&M pretty much had the better of it in the second half. But Jackson State had a nice drive late in the third quarter. Raheem Sims sneaks it in, and JSU has a 13-10 lead. But late in the game, FAMU, the Rattlers, get on a roll, and they try to make something happen, and they do. Gerald Hearns with the reception here. And it's 17-16 Florida A&M, and it looks like the MEAC would pull out the win. JSU needs a miracle in the final minute. Less than 45 seconds to play. Ivy heaves it up. It's deflected into the hands of Deshaun McKenzie. McKenzie brings it in for Jackson State. And the Tiger fans go berserk. And of course, they can't believe what they saw. Meanwhile, Meanwhile, in Columbia, it was the Palmetto Classic featuring South Carolina State and Benedict College. The Tigers looking to pull off the upset over the Bulldogs, but the Bulldogs were flexing their muscle early in Charlie Johnson Stadium. Cameron Stover, the Tigers quarterback, can attest to that. He did all he could to get rid of the football here and avoid the sack. South Carolina State showing their good side so far in this game. They continue to wreak havoc on Stover, who throws it away here. A totally dominant defensive performance in the first half. The Bulldogs led 14-0 at the break and really tooted their horn in the second half. This is Jalen Simmons. That is a South Carolina State touchdown. The Bulldogs lead 21-0 at this point, and they're starting to pull away from the Tigers. Benedict trying to come up with something, anything, to spark that offense. But Cameron Stover could only run into big bad Javon Hargrave. Hargrave with a huge game for South Carolina State in this one. Later, Stover with the completion, but the Bulldog secondary with the quick tackle, suffocating the Tiger attack. Meanwhile, South Carolina State fans had plenty of reasons to smile at Charlie Johnson Stadium. That's because the offense was finding its rhythm. This is Justin Taylor. He finds a big hole in the secondary and takes it inside the Benedict red zone. He gets tackled at the 12-yard line, but Buddy Pugh gives him a chance to finish the drive. That's exactly what Taylor does. Give him 6. Touchdown, South Carolina State. South Carolina State with 49 unanswered points in the second half. Meanwhile, the Benedict offense continues to struggle. Fumble here is recovered by Stover, but it was nothing doing for the Tiger offense. Meanwhile, South Carolina State with more big plays. That's Michael Moody down the sideline, pushed out of bounds inside the red zone. South Carolina State can't score here, but they will score on Benedict's next possession. Stover stripped of the football. Hargrave picks up the loose ball and takes it all the way to the house. Nobody in purple and gold going to stop him. South Carolina State with an impressive performance at Charlie Johnson Stadium before an overflow crowd. Final score, Bulldogs 63. Benedict gets stuck with the big bad bagel. Plenty of energy in Energy Stadium in Houston, Texas. It's the season opener, the Labor Day Classic between Texas Southern and Prairie View. The Panthers trying to make something happen in 2014. They've got the ball and they're on the move. In the first quarter, Jerry Lovelock, the signal caller for Prairie View, drops back. The short pass falls to the turf, but the whistle doesn't blow. It's a lateral. Brandon Thomas picks up the loose ball, gets into the end zone, a gift touchdown for Texas Southern, and they take a 7-0 lead. But Lovelock leads the Panthers right back down the field. This is Gabe Dunlap with the touchdown reception. Give him 6. We're tied at 7. It's 14-10 Prairie View in the second quarter, and then Texas Southern goes for a slightly more glamorous look. And then some slightly glamorous play calling. Homer Causey to Malik Cross. It's a 44-yard touchdown that gives TSU the 17-14 lead. Then kicker Eric Medina gets in on the act. He had 3 field goals on the day. This one being one of the 3, but TSU trailed 21-20 after 30 minutes. In the second half, more big plays and more reasons to check out the big show from Houston. Homer Causey, who had a big day at quarterback for TSU, drops back, finds Fred Plummer down the right sideline. Plummer with a big day. 3 receptions, 111 yards, and a touchdown. Here's the touchdown coming from quarterback Jamal Small. TSU survives a shootout in Houston and knocks off their arch rival and claims bragging rights over Prairie View. Final score in this game, 37-35. Now let's take a look at other HBCU scores from around the country in Week 1. Did you like what you saw in this week's edition of HBCU Live? Good. HBCU Live wants to talk to you. Sponsorship opportunities are available. Contact us at 704-609-7157 or hit us up on the web, hbculive@aol.com. We'll see you next week on HBCU Live, the pulse of Black college sports. We'll be seen right here on YouTube.